What's up, guys? It's your Super Players back at it again. It's your host Tony G, bringing you another market watch, and these are the cards that I want to look into because Bandai announced so many reprints, just like in the title. Crazy amount of reprints next set and the upcoming sets too. We saw so many cards like Obuni being reprinted, we see Vegeta being reprinted, and we see Frieza and all these crazy cards from Draft Box 4 and 5 that are being reprinted. And I didn't anticipate them to reprint them all so quickly. And now some of these cards I'm going to mention are the ones that are being reprinted. And I want to see what is impacting the prices of these cards. And not only that, there's some cards that I want to talk about that are going up in price. So the first one I want to talk about is Vegeta Warrior from another dimension. Not different, but from another dimension. And this guy he was sitting at like $35, guys, and he's going up steadily. He was sitting at 35, 40, and now he's at 50, and the median right now is currently $85. It was 43 bucks earlier, but now look at this, guys. It went from being a $45 card to a 50, 50, 60, and 67, 79.99. It just got really expensive, and it pretty much skyrocketed back to $100. And I don't know what's causing it. I don't know if it's because Bandai released the new set 12 coming out, like the new secret card, or not the secret cards, but the new cards that are coming out. And maybe the fact that there's going to be a new leader that's going to be using rainbow energy, kinda. This might take advantage of that. So definitely take a look at that card. If you got it for 45, 30 bucks, whatever, you got a steal. But currently, yeah, it's sitting at 50 bucks. It was 45 or $40 like a week ago, and now it's $50, which is insane in my opinion. And then we're going to mention the next card that was sitting at an expensive price, which was Violent Rays. This card was sitting at like $20 earlier this week, and now it's plummeted to $11. It was sitting at $17.49, and it's tanked, guys. I think people are realizing it was a great card for the meta currently, but not a lot of people are utilizing it, and with the upcoming set coming out, I don't think it's going to be that useful. And so it just pretty much dropped by like half. Like it currently went from being like $18, $20 to pretty much 11, 12 bucks. 11 being the cheapest, and then obviously some of them are a little bit more expensive than most. And but yeah, you're looking at a $12 card when it was sitting at 25 not too long ago, or it was like $30 when it first came out. It was insane. But yeah, so Violent Rays is a pretty much come up right now, so I highly recommend getting this card. It might be utilized still, because Dark Broly is still going to be intense in the next format, and then with set 12 coming out, this might be pretty crucial to have. Not sure, I don't see it being that useful, but I mean, it's like a Nimbus, guys. I mean, just like Dormant Potential Unleashed, Nimbus, these cards are always going to retain value. Whether it's cheap right now, it might go up again depending on the meta, and it stops anything that's 20,000 or more. So I don't know. I mean, Red Broly could still be a thing, but who knows if there's another leader that could manipulate 20Ks and all that. So I would say pick it up right now. It's a steal. Get it. It's $11 right now. So I think this is going to be the cheapest it's going to be at. I don't see it going cheaper than 11, but it could go up in price. So I highly recommend getting it now. It might not be used a lot, but it's going to be useful in the long run for sure. It's a good staple card. I recommend. And then moving on to the next card is going to be Obuni After Image Slash. This card was announced being reprinted in the next set. Not this upcoming set, but like 2 months later or a month later after that one being dropped. It went from being like a $70 card to $40. So if you got them when they were super expensive like I did, I got them when they were like 35. No, I got them for like 40 bucks each. I mean, it was still expensive, but it could have been way more pricier for me. But at the moment, I was not looking to spend like $60 when it first came out. So you got a decent price out of it. So yeah, I got it for $160 for a play set, but now you could guarantee $160 when I had to like outbid people and stuff. It was a rough day for me that day. Could have gotten them way cheaper, but right now you could get them for pretty relatively kind of cheap. Obuni's still a very strong blue staple card, not restricted to leader, and obviously they wanted to reprint them, so obviously they reprinted it in the upcoming box that's coming out. So I want to talk about these cards because some of them caught me off guard. There's one that caught me off guard that they were reprinting, or a few actually. And then we have Reprints, Punishing Passion, another card that was sitting at $70. Now it's sitting at $37, a little bit cheaper than Obuni, but they'll probably stay at $30-$35 once the new set drops, depending on the pull rates. These actually might maintain their value at $30-$35. If not, they might go down, because we did see draft box cards that were reprinted in the anniversary box go down by like a significant amount, like Goku and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend checking them out. But yeah, it was sitting at $70, now it's 40, so it's pretty much gone down by half. This guy is being reprinted in a deck. I think that was crazy. Frieza Imperial Inspiration. He's being reprinted in the upcoming Towa Expert deck, I believe. And I didn't even know. I'm like, whoa, and it's gonna be foil too. So it was sitting at $17, now it's at $12. It's probably gonna go down even more because these reprinted cards in these decks are, I don't know how many you'll get. Maybe you'll get 1 or 2, but 2 is all you need in my opinion. And so this card's probably gonna tank. I got this card at $16. I didn't know they were gonna reprint this card. I didn't think they were gonna reprint this card at all, but they did, and I was in shock when they did. So I'm like, ah, man, I could have waited and bought them for like $5 probably. But yeah, it's $11. I mean, it's a good card if you're going in for double strike. Add a crit on it, just like the famous words of C-Rod, double strike crit. And yeah, it's very strong. It's still a strong card for what it's worth in the starter deck. It's worth it in my opinion. And then this one was announced by Bandai in the set 12. This card was actually sitting at $100 earlier this month, and now it was at $65. But since they announced the reprint, it's going to be reprinted in the box actually, set 12, it went from being $65 to $35. So it significantly dropped too. So I mean, it's a reprint palooza right now. So you're seeing at $39.99. I still think it might go down depending on the pull rates. This might be a $15 card still. I don't see it being more than $20, but it will drop to $15, seeing how the pull rates were pretty good this last set. So maybe this upcoming set might be just as good, and you might pull this guy pretty consecutively, so who knows. Or it might be kind of expensive still, I don't know, but I don't see it being more than $25. It should not be more than $25. Cheapest should be going would probably be $15. So I definitely recommend holding on to them or just selling them now so you could make your quick buck. But I don't know what the pull rates might be for the new set, so just be careful with that. And then we have obviously SS Vegeta Exploding Weakness, another card that got announced. This card was sitting at $60 earlier this month. Normal was $60, yeah, now it's just plummeted also by half. And so I wanted to talk about these cards last week, but we wanted, like, the boxes were just very expensive. They were coming out for like super expensive. And yeah, another card that was sitting at $60, now it's $27, and they've just completely tanked. And so some of these cards, obviously I have them listed here, an overview of how much they're going for, like Draft Box 5. And oh, another one that I forgot to mention was Protector of the People. This one also got reprinted. It was sitting at $20, now it's just $25. It tanked by half. So another card that's being reprinted in that Towa deck. That Towa deck is going to be worth it just buying it, because you get these really strong staples, and I highly recommend getting that Towa deck. Even if you don't play that leader or any of that, just getting Protector of the People is another strong staple, just like Violent Rays. I highly recommend getting it. I highly recommend getting the Expert deck, because if you could pre-order it now, because it might be kind of expensive in the long run. So I think it's going to be those collector items. I feel also the Towa deck, just because it came with really strong staples and it's all foiled out. So yeah, so there you guys have it from your host Tony G. Definitely recommend getting some of these cards or selling them right away, because you don't know if they're going to be cheaper and you want to make a quick buck out of it. So I don't know, it's up to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more awesome market watches from your host Tony G and your super players. And like we always say, y'all stay super.
Double strike, hey. Me and 17, we both obscene with the hand destruction scene.
Y ahora se lista con el 17 y los otros 7. Yo miro y te pregunto tu mano, nosotros somos buenos para tirarlo.